Hi, and welcome to Law and Society. Today we're going to talk about the Mythsonian. We are going to talk about the revisionist regime that we are dealing with today. Donald Trump has corrupted the Smithsonian. For some reason or another, the story of his two impeachments were removed from an exhibit at the Smithsonian. So the Smithsonian is a government institution that is highly regarded as a research institution, an institution that oversees zoos and parks and does other research and has museums and exhibits. And they said that the move was temporary and they intend on putting the exhibit back in a few weeks' time. We don't know if that is because of the pressure that the Smithsonian has come under and has become the Mythsonian, because in our history there have been 5 instances of impeachment. I believe it was Andrew Johnson. Then there was the threat of impeachment to Nixon. And then there was the impeachment of Bill Clinton. And there was the first impeachment of Donald Trump for trying to coerce Vladimir Zelensky to talk about how they had helped Hillary Clinton in the 2016 elections. Then there's the impeachment for inciting the January 6th insurrection. Of course, he wasn't convicted of it. The Senate voted 57 votes for conviction, but he needed 10 more to be removed from office. And we all know the story of how Mitch McConnell didn't let that happen. But the fact that he was impeached by the House is part of history. And to remove that, even for a day, is revisionism. And we see here that Donald Trump is not just being a revisionist when it comes to Smithsonian exhibits, but he also fired the commissioner of the Bureau of Labor Statistics after the job numbers came in and the revised job numbers came in, and Ms. Erica McEnterfair reported the numbers. So you're firing the messenger when it was really you, Donald, and your tariff regime that got us to where we are today. And we're not going back up anytime soon. The job numbers are, I believe now we are in the red zone of Donald Trump's economy. And the numbers are going to be bad. And from now on, what we can expect is that future labor numbers from the government, from the executive branch, is going to be devoid of fact and will be challenged by multiple independent sources. And because the numbers aren't going to be good, and whoever Donald Trump puts into the Bureau of Labor Statistics as the commissioner will want to spin the labor numbers in Donald Trump's favor. And so that is the revision of disinformation being spread regarding our economy, and Donald Trump firing the lady who reported the numbers that were true, and now we don't know who's going to take that spot and what the labor numbers are going to be and whether they're going to be reliable or not. Then there's the revisionism and rewriting of history of the January 6th insurrection by starting an investigation in the Office of Special Counsel against Jack Smith, who was a special prosecutor who was prosecuting Donald Trump for conspiracy to defraud the United States, conspiracy to deprive rights, conspiracy to obstruct, and obstruction of justice. And those cases had to be dropped because Donald Trump won the 2024 election, but there's been no showing of wrongdoing. But Donald Trump's Office of Special Counsel is going to investigate whether Jack Smith has violated the Hatch Act and if there were some irregularities in his activities. It's going after Donald Trump's political opponents. This is the first step, the first rung of it. We have seen in other ways where his political opponents have been manhandled by ICE agents, ranging from U.S. Senator Padilla to New York Comptroller Lander to Ras Baraka of Jersey City, Representative McIver of New Jersey. We've seen this happen over and over again, where the government is coming in and arresting political enemies, and now we have the legal apparatus going directly and investigating Jack Smith in an effort to completely spin around the narrative of what really happened on January 6, 2021, which was an insurrection that was incited by Donald Trump and led by his co-conspirators in the Oath Keepers and the Proud Boys, who were convicted of seditious conspiracy, and Donald Trump pardoned them. So that will never be untrue. That is just a factual record. But Donald Trump will try to keep on rewriting that history, and we're just not going to let him. This is just another attempt. Don't be surprised. This is sort of a tangent. Don't be surprised if we find out that the new ICE agents that Donald Trump's administration is recruiting, that some of those ICE agents were participants in the January 6th insurrection. If you hear that, don't be surprised, because that is entirely foreseeable. Then there is the revisionism and just poor judgment going in and nominating, and then the Senate pushing through the approval of Jeanine Pirro to be the U.S. Attorney for the District of Columbia, an enormously powerful position where she, who is insane, her own Fox producers called her crazy, and she's now she's a January 6th denier, and she is going, so you put a revisionist in as the U.S. attorney, so to create this false narrative that is happening at every step, all the way from the Smithsonian to the Bureau of Labor Statistics to Donald Trump's intelligence agencies, led by Tulsi Gabbard. Then you have the revisionism happening with Jeffrey Epstein, where Ghislaine Maxwell, yes, I'm going to call her Ghislaine Maxwell. I'm not going to call her Ghislaine. I'm not going to give her name the dignity of being pronounced properly. Is getting moved to a club fed, low security prison in Texas for her 20-year sentence. I don't know if this is a stepping stone for commuting her sentence or pardoning her, but every time Donald Trump has been asked about whether he's going to pardon or not, he has said he's allowed to do it. He's never answered the question, only said that he is allowed to do it. So that's also revisionism. That's also a Mythsonian caricature here, where you are going to, slowly pardon or commute the sentence of a convicted sex trafficker, and the Republican Party is going along with it. Like, that's where we are. That's where the Republican Party is, that impeached a former president for consensual sexual activities with an adult in the White House. And there's no, here you have the government along with Donald Trump stonewalling, and Congress stonewalling the American people and refusing to tell the truth about what happened with Jeffrey Epstein and who is in the Jeffrey Epstein files. And now they're cooking up whatever conspiracy they can cook up to throw at the American people, whether that be Obama's treason or back to butter emails with Hillary Clinton. Yeah, really, like, they're back to that. So you see that it's a problem. Whatever they're trying to hide and whatever they're trying to rewrite there. And then lastly, it was announced that the Corporation for Public Broadcasting that funds PBS and PR, provides funding for them, not all the funding, but some funding, is shutting down by the end of this year. So that's a huge hit to the truth, to free press, to the freedom of expression. It is a huge attack on the truth. It is a step towards creating false narratives and throwing it out there through Newsmax and OAN and other far-right propagandist networks. Fox isn't even that far right. And God knows who is going to take the role in place of Corporation of Public Broadcasting, because that gave Americans the opportunity to have reliable nonprofit news coming out that was supported by federal grants, but now are not going to be supported by federal grants anymore. So the whole atmosphere of revisionism is the Mythsonian that I'm calling. It's not the Smithsonian anymore, it's the Mythsonian. With wrong labor statistic numbers, with investigations against special prosecutors from the previous administration, from assigning unqualified people like Emile Bove to the Third Circuit Court of Appeals and Jeanine Pirro to the U.S. Attorney of District of Columbia. It is shutting down of public broadcasting so as to change the truth and create a false narrative, alternate reality in which Donald Trump wants his loyalists to live in. You know, it'd be damned whether it is true or false as long as it falls within and adheres to Donald Trump's story and Donald Trump's rule. So with that said, beware the Mythsonian. Beware the revisionist regime that we have. Always check and double check and triple check and quadruple check your sources. Always find news from various sources and find the synchronicity and learn the whole story before forming an opinion of your own. Don't trust personalities. Look for the truth in the facts. And trust yourself to be able to understand and read the various sources that are being provided. I provided the sources for every news story that I just told you today. So if you are interested, go to the description box. You have the references. Check them out. And other than that, thanks for listening. Please like and subscribe and please share. And I will talk to you soon.